Hello and welcome back to another episode of the CQ the Watch Guy podcast with me, CQ the Watch Guy. Hope you're having an amazing day today. I know I am. Yes, my friends, Geneva Watch Days is gone, but plenty of watch news is still around. We're still soaking in, all those great watches that were released. And of course, Swatch comes and just stuns the internet and the world once again with their great release of the Blancpain Swatch Scuba 50 Fathoms edition. And really cool pieces, right? But before we get into that, because, we got to spend some time talking about those pieces, I do want to just give a special mention to the Bulgari Octo Finissimo carbon gold editions and even the Octo Finissimo line in general. I think they've been around for about a decade now, and you can say that Bulgari has created a new modern icon within watchmaking and in the watch world, right? Many world records on their belt for thinnest movement, thinnest complication. I believe they got a thinnest tourbillon in there as well, and such a great watch, great feeling watch, great looking watch. If you've never had a Finissimo on the wrist, you gotta get one. Done in so many different materials as well. You got titanium, you got steel, you got ceramic, you got rose gold, you got yellow gold, and I love how they do their gold as well because it's a nice kind of a matte satin finish as well, and it's just a really, really great look. And when those watches first came out, I was very on the fence because they looked very delicate. And I remember a friend of mine purchased one, and he was somebody who's hard on their watches. I was like, if he can wear one, I dare say I could wear one too. So I got one on the wrist, and I remember thinking, this is, a watch worthy of what I call, the perfect watch status. Meaning, you really can find no faults in one of those watches. And I think, with the Octo Finissimo, just like the Royal Oak, just like the Nautilus, it's more about finding the variation that you love, finding the variation that resonates with you, and you find that put in your collection and you'll enjoy it so much. So you roll into this year and they do these carbon gold editions, and I think these are just hits, right? You keep the Finissimo platform. You have this anthracite carbon case and bracelet that just that looks really, really good on the watch, and you have gold indices and gold accents on the crown and the complications. So they did it in a time only and a perpetual counter. I'm a big fan of this perpetual counter as well. I love complicated watches and I love perpetuals, and they found a really good way of laying out a perpetual counter in a different way than you're used to seeing. And it's a very good way of using the Finissimo dial structure and laying out all the information while keeping the watch legible, which is can be the problem with perpetual counters, right? And I don't know, I'm a big fan of carbon fiber and anthracite carbon and that material. So I think on the Finissimo it just looks great. Black and gold is just a combination that will always look great and contrast great together. So this is just a hit. But I think we do have to give a little round of applause to Bulgari and the Finissimo collection as a whole, because this is a collection that's here to stay, and I've sold pretty much every version of them, had pretty much every version on the wrist, or at least in my hands, and it's an icon. It's an iconic watch, and they've done an outstanding job, and these are just more cherries on the cake. So kudos to them. A lot of great watches that came out during Geneva Watch Days, so we'll do more of a wrap-up, and I definitely suggest you take a chance to do a loop around and see what came up, because a lot of great watches will be hitting the website very, very soon as they get into the ecosystem there. So we have to get to the big news, right? Swatch likes to stun the world, and they did so with the Moon Swatch last year. And everybody thought, oh my God, it's a bioceramic or plastic Speedmaster Moon watch. This will cheapen the image of the brand, yada, yada. And it came out, and they're really cool watches. They're fun. Of course, they're not going to be the quality of a Speedmaster Professional, but I think they were really fun watches, and they hit the nail on the head. I'm not as critical on these collaborations as a lot of other people are. Yes, you can, for the price point, you can find a lot of different things in a lot of different watches, but for what Swatch wanted to create, and if you take like, let's say Swatch did this with just a different brand that wasn't a Swatch Group brand, the prices would be around the same as well, and you get similar results too. So I just enjoy them. I like that it brings a breath of fun and fresh air into watch collecting. It gives watch collectors something to collect that isn't at the heavy price point that the normal pieces are as well. And anyway, so we got Swatch and Blancpain. You get rumors, you get images. What could this be? The biggest worry for a lot of people, including myself, was, are they going to put a quartz movement in a Blancpain? Even if it's a Swatch collaboration, the whole thing with Blancpain for a long time is there will never be a quartz movement in a Blancpain watch. It will never be a quartz Blancpain. Jean-Claude Biver so famously said when he, retook the brand, that was their slogan, and it has never been. So that was like the worry. And beyond that, I think in my head, I figured anything they did would kind of look fun. And it was unveiled, and what we got was some really cool watches under the Blancpain Swatch Scuba 50 Fathoms. You have the Arctic, Antarctic, Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian Ocean pieces in beige, ice white, yellow, blue ceramic, green. And now we're seeing some live images of the pieces. I think they're really fun watches, really well done. For the price, I think just under $410. Nice, fun watches you can collect together with families, your loved ones, your friends. You're not going to break the bank. Of course, there's the dive crowd out there, the hardcore divers who are going to say for this price point you could buy a Seiko, et cetera, et cetera. That's a real dive watch, and of course, but that's not the real point of this watch. The point of this watch is to be a fun collaboration. In my opinion, it's to be a fun collaboration. You're bringing people who love Swatch and who have that nostalgia of collecting Swatch. You're bringing people who love Blancpain. And again, it's just a fun thing. I don't think this is a watch that is going to go crazy over retail on the market side, but I did check the chronos yesterday, and we were already seeing pieces up there at like the 1500 mark. So let's see what happens there. But I think these are fun watches. I think the Antarctic is the one to get. That will be the white one, but the Indian looks good with the green as well. The pictures of the watch itself looks really, really nice. And I think even the Arctic, which is kind of like a beige and orange, I would wear that watch. I think these are great. I think these are fun. I think these are collectible watches. And again, I have no issue with these pieces at these price point. I think they're fun. I think go out, Pokemon, gotta catch them all, create a cool collection. And I love that we're pivoting away from more moon swatches. I think we were getting a little repetitive on the moon swatch side. So good to see some fun further collaborations, and kudos to Swatch. Good job. I think this is a win-win for everybody out there. And Swatch just knows how to I like how they shut down the world. And good thing that they're making. It seems that they've been pretty available. From what I've seen, everybody who's stood in line and waited has been able to get one. I didn't think they've been as tight as the original Moon Swatch releases. That was a little bit insane. The original releases where, there were only like 100, 150 pieces per store in those original releases. I think they learned from that, and accessibility, which I think is the key to all of this. I think people like to have fun with watches. People like to collect watches. And I think where the issue, the frustration comes is when something like this that should be accessible becomes very, very hard to access, and I think they're gonna work on that. So kudos to Swatch. These are fun. I'm definitely I'm not gonna wait in line too long, but I might wait in line for a little bit to get one. All right, moving right along, let's get into some picks of the week. We got some cool watches that have dropped on the website, and I picked out a few that I really liked. And let's start off with a Panerai. I'm still in that summer mode. So we have a Panerai PAM 979. So this is a submersible Carbotech. So I love Panerai submersibles. I love divers. And I love Carbotech watches, just like we were talking about with the Bulgari Finissimo. I love carbon fiber. I love that carbon motif. What I like about this particular Carbotech is it's 47 millimeters, so it's a large watch. But it being a Carbotech, you're getting a lot of weight taken off. So you're getting a little bit of weight differential. You're getting a large watch, but a lighter watch. You get a nice dark dial. So you kind of get in that, dark, blackout motif, a little bit of stealthy watch, the price point is really great here. We have it for $12,975. These debuted for right under $20,000. So if you been looking at Panerai, you're looking for something funky, unique, a little bit stealthy in the collection. I like the 979, and I like all Carbotech. Even the ceramic, the Tutanero, the 438, I believe, is at a really good price point right now. Panerai, a lot of value to be found, so have fun digging around those. Next up, a new 2023 release. I think we're calling this the Guinness. This is the Rolex GMT Master 2, the 126713. Black and gray bezel. These look so good in the metal. It's really hard for pictures. The pictures right there. It's really hard for pictures to capture the subtle gradient from black to gray on this style. And in the computer shots, it wasn't really giving it. Now we're seeing a lot more live shots of this watch, and to see one in the metal, they're really, really gorgeous. And I think this is a hit from Rolex. And again, black, gold, and gray. You in your head, those colors work good, but you didn't know what that would do on a watch. And I think this was like a sleeper to come out for Rolex in 2023, and this is going to be one of the watches that have a lot of longevity to the popularity, because once you have this on the wrist, I don't see you really taking it off. I don't really see it coming in and going out in a collection very, very often. And I just love it on the Jubilee as well. I think we're going with the Guinness. I think that is the name that has won the popularity contest, and it's a winner. I enjoy this watch in two-tone. I enjoy it in solid gold, and we have this one in, and yeah, definitely one to try to get on the wrist and see in person. But that bezel is just perfection. Yeah, if you've been thinking about two-tone, I think this is the way to go. Bluesy Submariner or the Guinness, that's the way to go for two-tone right now, in my opinion. Moving forward, another hit, we have the Cartier Santos, the Cartier large with the green dial. So we've seen these a lot in the blue dials, and I love it in the green as well. We've known from recent videos, I think green has taken over, and I just love the deep green of the Santos dial. And deep green dial, very versatile, doesn't scream across the room. The Santos in itself is, again, very versatile watch. I love these because you can change the bracelet and the strap very easily. This one comes with the bracelet, and it comes with the extra strap as well. That's a nice green croc strap too. So very versatile watch, and it's just a gorgeous watch. I love a watch that you can stare at all day when you just need to daydream a little bit. And the Santos, the Cartier large in green, I could daydream with that watch all day, and that's a great one to pick up. Love the blue, but the green is creeping on me. Last but not least, another watch with some green in it. We have the original Kermit, the Rolex 16610 LV Submariner. I love these older Submariners. They just have a different character. I picked this one because it's a full set. You have the original warranty papers. You do have a service card with it as well, and it's in excellent condition. I love the aluminum bezel. It just has, again, a different color, a different character. And these, I don't know, they just hit all the nails on the head for me. A great everyday watch, gives you something traditional, gives you something with a little bit of pop of color, and gives you something special as well. And these are traded at a great price point right now. Thank you so much for tuning in for this and many more watches. Make sure you check out DavidSW.com, and for more videos, make sure you check out DavidSW YouTube. Buy what you love.